Hey everybody, it's Joe Sengel, Fully Funded Life, and I'm continuing a series called If I Had More Time. You know, many times in our live events, we let people ask questions. We use a great platform called Slido.com. It allows people to ask questions anonymously, and their friends and peers can vote them up. And we answer the top thumbs up questions, but I commit to recording some videos afterwards to get to the questions that may not have been able to be approached during that live event. And today we're going to go through several of those until they tell me to stop. I've not seen these questions until I read them on the screen. Fired up, let's go. First one is, how do taxes work when you invest in stocks? Well, that all depends upon the type of account in which you hold the stocks. Let's think of stocks as file folders. And the file folders are taxable if they are not protected by anything. If your stock goes up in value and you sell it, you will owe taxes on capital gains. If you held it for less than a year, it'll be short-term capital gains tax. If you hold it longer than a year, it'll be subject to long-term capital gains tax. If you receive profit distributions known as dividends, those will be taxed as ordinary unearned income. However, if it is within a storage container, think of that file folder going into a file cabinet. What would be the file cabinet? The file cabinet would be a tax advantage fund, like an IRA or a Roth IRA or a 401k, simple IRA, a 403b, 457 or TSP. Then it has special tax protections. It will either be pre-tax or post-tax. If the word Roth is mentioned next to it, it is called post-tax advantages. The post-tax advantages of Roth IRAs are that, yes, the money is taxed prior to you investing the money into that account and then purchasing stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and other investments. However, it will grow free of taxes to and through your retirement years. It is not subject to something known as RMDs, required minimum distributions, which right now is at the age of 73. Now, if it is pre-tax, in other words, the government allows you to deduct that contribution to your retirement account, to that college savings account, 529, prior to contribution, you get to use the tax dollars and everything, no taxes when it goes in. Well, then it grows tax-free, but then when you go to pull it out, it is taxable. The growth is taxable. All of it is taxable because it's never been taxed. And it will absolutely, at age 73, the age of required minimum distributions, you'll be forced to take out generally around 4 to 5% of those funds, and it will be taxed in that year. So that's how taxes work. The answer is it depends. And what does it depend upon? It depends upon the type of account in which you hold those stocks. Great question. So let's go to the next question. Explain annuities. Are they good investments? Well, annuities are very similar to these giant pension funds. If you're a government employee, if you're a teacher, a postal worker, you still have a defined pension plan. It does not have value per se in that it's not a lump sum in your account, but there is a commitment to pay you a certain amount of money every single month until you pass on. And if there's marital benefits, it would pay your spouse some percentage of that until they pass on. So it has a guarantee of cash flow to you, but there is not value in and of itself. That is how an annuity works, but it's for an individual. So you can purchase the annuity, and the annuity gives you certain guarantees. Those guarantees are different by the type of annuity that you purchase, but in general, they commit to pay you a certain amount per month at some certain age, and they will pay for some set time period. Maybe that time period is for your natural life. Maybe it's for a 10-year period. However, that annuity, when you buy it with real money. You no longer have an asset really that you can sell. It is an expensive way to get guaranteed income. However, many people value that guaranteed income enough that they're willing to spend money on it. Annuities, in general, are not the greatest of investments. However, There are many people who value guaranteed things. And as a result, they say that they are good investments for them. That's why the products exist. And so for me, they're not a good investment. I would rather keep my money invested in the stock market and in small businesses and real estate. For me, I feel like my real estate investments are the closest proximity to annuities, except for I own the real estate, so I can sell it if I choose to. But in the meantime, it provides cash flow in a fairly predictable way. And so for me, I'm not a fan of annuities. For you, the decision may be different. Make sure you seek the advice from a competent professional that would help you make those decisions. How can we invest? We don't come from financially savvy parents or ancestors, but we would like to break that cycle for our children and our generations to come. Well, it starts with making the decision to invest. It's a great question. It's one of the greatest curses is that our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, they worked hard all of their lifetime, and they basically die with nothing. And then the cycle starts over again with nothing. And then the cycle starts over again with nothing. And here we are in our present time. And guess what? We're starting again with nothing. You see, the easiest thing to do is to spend everything we have. It is so easy. We can give so many reasons why, so many excuses why we would end with nothing. And it starts with making a decision to not do that in your lifetime. And then you're going to have to fight to keep that decision. And so it starts by contributing to a company retirement plan, getting that full company match. It comes from having a budget and prioritizing, investing for the future, and fighting like crazy to keep it in there. Putting money in there in an automatic way, holding yourself and each other accountable if you're married. You mentioned children and for the generations to come. And have your big why so that your children don't have to start with nothing. I'm driven as a person of faith by a great word in Proverbs 13:22 that says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, that leaves enough that it goes all the way to the grandchildren. I'm motivated by that. That's a command to me to be a wise manager of what I have. And then that commitment, that systematic, continuous contribution to a retirement fund, to an investment account, to build a business, to buy real estate, to leave legacy beyond your natural life, and then leaving also a legacy of knowledge so that those that might receive it, your beneficiaries, those ancestors behind you, the generations to follow, will have the legacy of knowledge of how to handle it in a way that they can set up their grandchildren. That has to happen as well. It's a great question, and I know that you can do it. Next question. If you have a large, capital letters, I love it, large amount of student loan debt and are making payments, how can you qualify for lower rates if the debt to income ratio is high? It's high due to the loans, okay? I'm not sure where they're wanting to qualify for lower rates. Maybe it's because they're trying to qualify for rates on a house and their debt to income ratio is high due to loans. Well, the first thing I would say is if you have a large amount of student loan debt, my hope and prayer is it came with an excellent degree that can allow you very rapidly to get a great income. And so how do you get your debt to income ratio lower? Well, it's two ways. Reduce your debt, increase your income. If both of those are happening, then your debt to income ratio will go very low and it will allow you to qualify for that. So what I would encourage you to do is to work like crazy to begin reducing your student loans and then use the education from those student loans to get the compensation up so that that ratio collapses and allows you to qualify for the best rates. Great question. Anonymous asks again, how do I start as a single mom with one income? Well, this is going to seem like a cheeky response. Please hear my heart. I do not mean this in any way, spicily or saucily, okay? You have to start where you are with what you have. So define reality. Where are you really? What is your income? What is your outgo? When you look at your budget, income minus outgo, what are you able to say no to? What can you reduce? What can you eliminate so that you can start breaking free of wherever you're at? Based on the way the question is phrased, there's an intonation that you're at ground level zero when it comes to the ladder, the fully funded life ladder. I would encourage you to start focusing on your income. You are a single mom. Are you receiving child support payments? Many times, single moms become sympathetic to the father, and they do not hold them accountable to what has already been mandated and decreed by the court. Maybe it's because it has been a fight and you're just exhausted chasing it. Take it to the courts. Ensure that father is paying what he rightfully owes, and that is that child support income. Make sure that that is happening. Number two, what skill sets could you acquire? Is there education that you could take at a local community college? Many times that is free. And increase your educational level so that you could produce more income with the same amount of time. One of the things we really encourage you also to do is to get a support group around you of people that are winning with their money that you could meet with on a regular basis. And they could hold you accountable, yes, to good money decisions, making sure you're not spending money out of exhaustion and making poor money decisions. But more than anything, they could provide encouragement and hope to you. Really, that's what we try to provide through our fully funded life coaching. As important as budgeting and the mechanics of investing and all that is, just as important is providing hope and encouragement and accountability. You can do this, and every day, those babies are getting a day older, and they will see that mom has worked really hard and really diligently to prosper, not just to survive, but to thrive. You can do this. Accountability with a great, helpful, and encouraging coach will help you get there. This is a great question. I've looked on your website to try to find Joe's thoughts on purchasing gold and silver, but I could not find anything. I'm considering buying some. Can you share your recommendations, please, and direct me to resources either on your site or somewhere else that can help me make an informed decision? Also, if you've purchased gold or silver, who do you recommend I purchase from? Well, that's an interesting thing. We have not posted anything on it, but I've certainly spoken about it at lots of our live events. So let's go on the record. I have purchased some precious metals. I release my investments every March, and you'll see there's a really thin line that says precious metals. I've primarily purchased silver, and I've purchased from multiple places, including providentmetals.com, govmint.com, and jmbullion.com. I've also purchased from the Golden State Mint. You can name any address that they will ship physical gold or silver to. I do not recommend having large piles of this at your house. You can have a bank safe. You can purchase an annual fee for a drawer in a vault. They will lie when they ship it to you. It turns out if it says contains gold and silver inside, it may not make it to its destination. So it will say precision machine ball bearings, machine parts, something like that. You can have signature delivery, and that can allow you to make sure you receive your physical gold or silver, and then you can place it in a place that is safe for you. And so I also purchased silver coins multiple times that have oxen on them. Why? Because I wrote a book called Oxen about investing, and on our team, they know that if you do something great, you could very well get and receive an Oxen Award, which is 1 pure ounce of silver with an ox on it. And so I use it as a reward thing as well. So I encourage you, if it's right for you, check out those websites, providentmetals.com, jmbullion.com, govmint.com, and the Golden State Mint. Get fired up. Hey, this has been If I Had More Time with Joe Sangold with Fully Funded Life. We're showing you next time after another event with a lot more questions We love to be able to answer your questions because they're right now relevant to help you live your fully funded life. Hey, if you would you give us a thumbs up? Maybe give us a thumbs down if you don't agree with what we're sharing, and then share your thoughts. Share your comment. Click the bell if you're watching this on YouTube to be able to get notified every time we release a new episode of Fully Funded Life. Get fired up. Hey everyone, Joe Sangle here. Thanks so much for watching this episode. Hey, I encourage you to check out our other videos that are available here. If you like this, hey, every single week we're producing new content that is to help you with right now relevant information. So make sure you click one of the links and check out some more of our information. I think you'll be so glad that you did. I know your wallet will be glad you did.